this, sir, we are the group 4 and our topic is all about the errors and health effect of radar. And I am Decadet Degamo with my members, Decadet Dayanan, Decadet De Leon, and Decadet Demecillo. Learning outcomes. At the end of the session, the student shall be able to determine the radar errors and possible health effect of radar. So what is the health effect of radar? So most of the studies conducted to date examine health effects other than cancer. They prove into psychological and thermoregulatory responses, behavioral changes and effects such as induction of lens oocytes, cataracts, and adverse reproductive outcomes following acute exposure to relative high levels of RF fields. There are also numbers of studies that report non-thermal effects where no appreciable rise in temperature can be measured. So as continuation to my report, so cancer-related studies, many epidemiological studies have addressed possible links between exposure to RF and excess risk of cancer. However, because of differences in design and execution of these studies, their results are difficult to interpret. A number of national and international peer review groups have concluded that there is no clear evidence of links between RF exposure and excess risk of cancer, who has also concluded that there is no convincing scientific evidence that exposure to RF shortens the lifespan of humans, or that RF is an inducer or promoter of cancer. However, further studies are necessary.
Skin cancer. Radar errors. First, heading marker alignment. Then the second is EBL not alignment. Then the third is gyro input with error. Number 4, improper tuning. Number 5, improper range. Number 6, blind sector. Number 7, adjustment range clutter or section clutter. Number 8, on vessel date input error. Number 9, range and bearing discrimination. Number 10, beam with distortion. Number 11, side lobe echo. Number 12, beautiful echo. Then the last is number 13, second trace echo. Radar errors. Heading marker alignment or a collision point could appear of the heading marker in a collision situation. When the same error appears in both heading marker and calculations, as might occur due to a gyro or compass error, the collision case will always show the collision point on the heading marker. EBL not alignment. The EBL system has a limited area of exposure or rating field and a large pattern and divided into many rating fields, exposed side by side with stage movement between each field exposure. The deviation from perfect alignment between consecutive ratings fields is called stretching error.
Blind sector, sector on the radar scope is in which radar echoes cannot be received because of an obstruction near the antenna. Range clutters. Clutters is a term used for unwanted echoes in electronic system, particularly in reference to radars. Such echoes are typically returned from the ground, sea, rain, animal, insects, craft of atmospheric turbules and can cause serious performance issues with the radar or systems. Range discrimination to small target on the same bearing and the light range difference may be shown as target bearing discrimination to small target on the same range, and the slight bearing difference may be shown as one target false echoes. Beam wheel distortion. The infinite beam width of the radar results in the echoes bearing extended to the azimuth this direction called the azimuth distortion. Is it apparent the azimuth distribution will be result in a enlargement of the target by the approximate one half beam with the other side, so total enlargement is equal to one beam weight. So side lobe echo, the infinite beam weight of the radar results in echoes bearing extended in the azimuth direction called the azimuth distortion. Is apparent that azimuth distortion will be resolved by enlargement of the target by the approximate one half beam radar, so the total enlargement is the equal of the beam weight. Multiple echoes may occur when the strong echo is received from the other ship to close range. A second or the third or more echoes may be observed on the radar scope, and the double, triple, or the other multiples of the actual range of the radar contact. Second, trace echoes. Multiple trace echoes are the echoes received from the contact at the actual range greater than the radar range setting. In an echo transmitted, the echo will appear on the radar scope at the correct beam bearing, but not at the true range. Second, trace echoes are usually expect under the abnormal atmospheric condition or the conditions under which super refraction is present.
One of the limitations of ship's radar is that it may not be able to detect an object due to its size, proximity to the sea surface, or when the object is poor radar target because of its constructions for design. For example, military ships are designed to that radar waves do not reflect back to the receiving unit's radar scanner. This also happens when wooden fishing boats and have the poor radar reflective surface. Small units boats engaged in fishing are also difficult to sight visually at night. Sometimes they may not be seen during the daytime. The bridge due to the height of the angle of the viewing of reflection of the sea surface. So when navigating in the proximity of such vessel or their known operating areas, it's a good practice to post an alert lookout with a walkie-talkie on the forecastle deck. So as you observe in these illustrations, a lookout of the forecastle is closer to the sea surface and has a better chance of signing small crabs. In the following picture, seaweed is giving very good radar returns due to the highly reflective surface. It had covered the wall and the surface during the lower water, but because it was the ship's first all the port area which was not able to survey. My first thought was that there may be an error in the charge and altered course to stay well cleared. We started approaching only after getting the positive confirmation by the all positive means. That is the safe to do, and there was ample water with sufficient depth. It is always better to safe than the sorry. I was also concerned if the seaweed, because of being so densely packed, could not in any way foul the bow thruster.